hello, and happy Pride Month, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Grown Ass Women TV. Oh, yes, that's a hashtag. Hashtag GAWTV. Please use that on social media. Yes, ladies. And while you're here, do us a favor before we kick things off. Please go ahead and like this video. Yeah. Ding, ding. Make sure that you are subscribed to our channel right now. And do us yourself a favor and click that bell icon to enable notifications so you never miss a moment of GAWTV. Look how prepared you are.
Look at me.
I know.
I got the thumbs. I got the bell. Come on.
You got this. Yes. New and exciting. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know, what's great about our show is our after party for our Patreon members. And you can be a member, patreon.com/GAWTV. Any tier. We have a Zoom after. Guess what we brought back?
What?
The dance off. Oh.
That was the best part. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little grizzled, guys. Grizzled old vet. Oh, but it's such a good time. Right, guys? I actually really, that's my favorite part of the show.
Me too.
Yeah.
The unfiltered version. Yeah.
The unfiltered. You get to see us raw, unfiltered.
We were
bad language and everything.
The other day, it was just like the craziest after party ever.
That was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. Well, you know who I want to give a huge shout out to, not to put myself over, not to toot my own horn, Her Legacy, LegacySubs.com, which your episode is sponsored by. But dude, Her Legacy has been going so good. It's been nothing but positive stuff, positive feedback. And so, you know, if you know someone or if you love, someone, one of your lady friends, if you will, maybe tag her here.
Yeah.
So to use code GAW, GAW, get 10% off everything in the store. There's lots of men's stuff, but so.
No,
I want to say thank you to that, Mickie. I want to say thank you because how I got through the whole day is the fat burner. Ooh. I needed the energy. So thank you.
Oh,
thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
A testimonial from Lisa Marie Varon. I don't think it gets much better than that. But we do want to give a little shout out as well to not only our fabulous sponsor, LegacySubs, Her Legacy, but our top tier, here we go, ladies, gorgeous patrons, which this month it includes William, Thorsten, Wayne, Aaron, Remy, Anthony, Mickey D, George, Tony. There's so many fabulous people that support us on patreon.com/GAWTV, and they've taken advantage of our new and improved Gorgeous tier, which includes our gift this month to you for being a top tier member is our TNA Knockouts banner. It's one of our favorite photo shoots, and it's such a fun collectible that we're going to give to all of our top tiers this month. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Love it.
Love it.
Oh my, love it. And don't forget, you guys, not only you can see us on our YouTube channel, you can hear us, our angelic voices on our GAWcast podcast. Big shout out to LJ for transferring all of our shows to the YouTube to the podcast form, unedited version. You get the long version. It's more of us yapping our jaws off. So you guys better listen to us.
If they can handle that, Lord in heaven.
Good God.
Yeah.
You'll need therapy. You might need therapy.
You might. But we are so excited for our guest today. I mean, this is someone that has such an amazing story, and we're so honored and thrilled that he would share it with us. But Lisa, unfortunately, you were not a part of the interview, which we are so sad about, but you had a very, very, very cool day.
I did. And thank you for LegacySubs. I'm telling you, that fat burner helped me getting up at freaking 4:30 to go to the US Open.
Woo!
Yes, the golf tournament. I marked the F out. I'm going to be honest with you. I got to see Phil Mickelson tee off and I fangirled. Not, a lot of things don't make me fangirl out too much. Yeah, but it was so iconic. And thank you, Tori Wilson, and to her husband, Justin Tupper, for the tickets. And we were in the NBC tent, the NBC Sports, and you can see from the pictures and stuff like that. But you made I guess it was very difficult. Tori offered the tickets, and I think her husband looked at her like, what are you doing? It's like asking us to get WrestleMania tickets. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. So Chavo and his best friend, Matt, joined us. A blast. VIP treatment.
Oh, so beloved. That's so amazing to hear from Chavo too. But, since we've talked him up so much, without further ado, our amazing interview with Mr. Fred Rosser.
We are so happy to have you here. You look gorgeous. Gorgeous, as
Thank you. Thank you. I always say health is wealth. So during this whole pandemic, the world stopped, but I didn't stop. So health is wealth.
Crazy. That was going to be my first question, actually. So it's so nice to virtually meet you. But how have you been dealing with the pandemic? Has it been crazy? I mean, are you kind of now getting back into events and stuff?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Thank goodness I didn't give up on working out. I just had to be more creative, doing TRX, kettlebell work, a lot of functional training. So I've just returned back to the gym. So I do half gym, half home because I don't want to lose a lot of that mobility that I worked on during the pandemic because, the wrestling beats your body up. So I say when it's all said and done with me, I don't want to be like The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels hobbling around. I love those guys, but that's why I always preach health is wealth.
Yeah, I love that health is wealth. That's so true.
I love that as I drink my Pinot Grigio. Here's the health, kids. Mommy needs her creative juice when we start the show. Our favorite part of the show is to ask, who are you wearing and what are you drinking? We'll have our guest of honor go first. Tell us what you're wearing and what you're imbibing on tonight, if anything.
Well, I'm rocking my New Japan Strong shirt. It's always been a bucket list of mine to work with New Japan, and I pursued them like crazy, and I'm living a dream with them. So New Japan Strong, and I haven't drunk any alcohol since August 2017. Wow. My release from WWE was October 2017. So nothing lasts forever. I moved out to LA before my release. And when I moved out to LA full time, I decided to give up Tito's vodka because that was my favorite. And I was dependent on it. And I tell it on my podcast, Pro Wrestling, that I was drinking before wrestling matches with WWE. I was drinking before Be a Star, anti-bullying campaigns to take the edge off. So I don't want to be dependent on that when I moved out to LA full time. So this is BCAAs and glutamine. This is my second gallon of water. I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat till like 5 or 6 p.m. So I just load up on water. So this is my second gallon.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just tell you what I'm drinking. It's not anything nearly as healthy as what.
That's healthy. That's healthy.
7-Up, 0 sugar. And I'm not drinking alcohol because I haven't worked out yet, not because I've given it up. But I do want to talk to you about that some. We're going to talk more about that. One of my favorites, though, anything that they put cherry in. Sold every time. Cherry Pepsi, cherry Dr. Pepper, cherry 7-Up, Sprite, whatever it is, I'm sold. And then I'm wearing my workout clothes because I'm getting ready to go work out too, Fred. I don't know that I intermittent fast. I'll say this. I don't know that I've never done the whole intermittent fast as a true diet. It's more like you said, I don't eat a heavy meal. Like I might have some cereal or a Nutri-Grain bar or something to snack on, a banana, something in the morning, but I probably won't eat my first meal until about 1 or 2 o'clock, like a real meal. So whatever I've done before then is just I'll get some cardio in. I don't like to train. I don't like to train after I've eaten because it slows me down and I feel heavy in the gym, and I want to because when we're training for the ring, it has to be explosive. It has to be high impact. It has to be it's slow and quick. So I do a lot of that, like calisthenics and stuff like that when I'm training, just to try to mimic what we do in the ring. Cause I say I could work out and do cardio on a machine for an hour and I can have a normal conversation with you. Then go get in the ring the next day and 5 minutes in and I'm sucking wind because it's not the same. And I think that especially now in these times when there's been a lot less shows, a lot less performance, we're starting to open back up and we're starting to get back to the ring. And so I don't want to be blown sky high. I do not.
Exactly.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It gets sloppy and that's when people get hurt. And I'm not trying to get hurt. Yes.
No, I agree. And I hate to use the word diet because any word with the word die in it, no one sticks to a diet. I don't stick to a diet. I don't think we all stick to a diet. It's like a lifestyle. So what works for me, I say what works for me might not work for you, but I can promise you a lot of the stuff I do. And I always say my social media is an open diary to the world. So anything I ever post always comes from the heart with the intent to inspire, motivate, and educate the masses. So people want to know what Mickie is drinking. People want to know what Val is promoting. People want to know what energy drink I'm taking. So just as much as like The Rock and Will Smith and Tom Hanks, those are guys that I kind of, Matthew McConaughey, those are guys that I kind of pull from. There are audiences that pull from us. So it is what it is.
It is.
I forget, Mickie, are you a fan of Matthew McConaughey? I can't remember.
I can't. I told you. I cannot. This is, you know, Nick gets Sofia Vergara and I get Matthew McConaughey. And that's kind of like the thing. And, you know, I never loved Lincoln so much in all my life.
There you go.
As I do today. Yeah, I never knew I wanted one until, you know, in recent years.
If he's selling, you're buying, right?
He's selling it, I'm not.
Mickie, Matthew's not my cup of tea in that way. But the one thing I learned from Matthew is, you know, when you do an audition or when you do a role, like go in there, prepare for it. So when you go in there, you can play around, you can have fun. Same thing in the ring, how you said that you want to mimic a lot of the exercises that we do. So when you have a wrestling match, you're not blown up. You can play around in the ring and you're just prepared. So a lot of what I learned from a lot of those, you know, influencers, those celebrities, I kind of gravitate and pull from too. Be prepared for NWA. Be prepared for New Japan. You know, be prepared for whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's good advice. I love the health is wealth as well. That's really, really great advice. I remember one time Trish, I want to say it was on a Tough Enough. This is me fangirling over here remembering this quote, but she said preparedness meets opportunity. And it's so true that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, as they say. I will just quickly tell you, I am drinking a Pinot Grigio blush because I'm also training. It's a little Pinot Grigio blush in my little fancy cup. And because we are celebrating Pride Month, as Mickie is illustrating with her fabulous flags, I am wearing my Yas Queen t-shirt to just illustrate the point there. And I usually am filming in my wardrobe. I'm actually in my lounge right now, so you'll see my very loud wallpaper in the back. But hey, it's a special occasion. Why not?
It's lovely, lovely wallpaper. You know, I told you, I think I mentioned this before. One of my old trainers would say over-prepared. Be over-prepared. Because if you're over-prepared, you're going to be unstoppable because people won't expect it, you know, like, so I think that's a good mindset to be in. Like you always have to be ready, stay ready, be over-prepared. So no matter what they give you, it could be a pile of crap, but you can turn it into gold because you're over-prepared and you know how to do it, right? Like that's just
exactly.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
What else would I want to say? Oh, you know, obviously this is a kind of a fun podcast. We don't typically talk about all like wrestling and all that stuff, but we could go through your whole career. And talk about all kinds of things from the indie circuit, which I didn't realize that you and we traveled in a lot of the same circuits because I saw you did a lot of Northeast and a lot of familiar names when I saw who you were listed as far as training under, and that from Nexus, which was on my exit of departure. That was kind of in line. I remember you coming up when you were in developmental, but I remember you coming up and some of the guys in Nexus coming up throughout the times, like just house shows and stuff like that. And then by the time you all kind of came up, I was kind of departing from the primetime players who with Titus, one of my favorite people on the planet, I'm just saying, amazing. Getting managed by Bob Backlund. I'm sure there's some fun stories there. What the world?
He's a nut. He's a lovable nut, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. But the craziest thing I thought that I read from your wrestling career is that you started because you were such a wrestling fan, you started in backyard wrestling before you found your school.
What?
Which is crazy to me. That's awesome, but it's crazy to me. That's cool. So cool. So I know it just hit a whole lot, but I'd love to hear some of that in the fun GAWTV way that we talk about. But also, you just mentioned your podcast, so I'd love to talk about your new podcast, or how long have you been doing that as well? Because I think that we would love to discuss.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Well, on my podcast, I always say, don't die with the story and you tell it. So there's 7 billion plus people on this planet. So I've got to continue to like roll up my sleeves and share my story, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I am a friend. So that's why I always say, anyone that doesn't have that support system, be a part of my support system on social media. I hear a lot of females say, oh, I need a break from social media. I need a break. It's too much. Well, I can't do that, because I know every time my feet touch the ground, somebody's counting on me. And I sleep better at night when I'm able to give advice to fans that I've met, and then they turn around and DM me and say that they wanted to commit suicide because of X, Y, and Z. And that's when I have to go into friend mode and send them personal messages, talking them out of it. And, who knows, I could have saved many, many lives just by being a friend. So that's where it all starts with me. Mama didn't raise no fool. I've been a fan since of wrestling since I came out of her womb, November 2nd, 1983, and I pursued wrestling with laser-like focus. The last sentence in my high school yearbook was WWF, here I come. And I wasn't going to take no for an answer. And I know, Rob Echoes, I started at the same school that he started at, his crazy behind. And I was what they call the golden boy. I started September 11th, 2002, 1 year after 9/11, and I paid up front. I paid $2,000. I used scholarship money I got from high school to join IWF Wrestling School in New Jersey, because I didn't want any installment payments. I didn't want none of that. I paid the money, and the rest was history. And I was the golden boy. I was the first one there, last one to leave. 19 years doing this. I'm still the first one at the building and the last one to leave. And I just got that on the job training, reps. And a lot of these new guys, they come up to me and they say, oh, what did you think of my match? You need more reps. You need to stumble and fall. And one of my biggest supporters was actually Dr. Tom Pritchard. He's an amazing guy. He would always tell me back in late 2002, 2003, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay the course. And I use a lot of Dr. Tom's sayings, because it's so true. He would always say, sometimes in this business, you're going to have to eat shit and like the taste of it. And in 2003, listen, in 2003, I'm sitting there, I'm new. That'll never happen to me.
Yeah.
Dr. Tom was absolutely right when I ultimately got signed to WWE May 4th, 2009. But Dr. Tom was a big inspiration to me. He followed my career 2004, 2005. When I do interviews and people call me former WWE superstar, I say, ho. I don't like using the word former, because former sounds washed up. My career started with WWE in 2003 when I was an extra doing Survivor Series commercial, and then from then on, I hate using the saying like the old timers back in my day, but literally back in my day, 2003, there was a time when anytime WWE was in the Northeast area, Dr. Tom would say, just if you're not booked. If I can't get you booked, just show up, and if you do something as an extra, you'll get paid cash. If not, just keep quiet and just be a sponge. And that's what I would do for years and years. And, I was an extra over 40 times, got told no by WWE over 40 times until I got that one yes. But there was a time, Northeast, I would just show up, and then people started to catch on, like Tony Garea, oh, your name's not on the list. And then other wrestlers would be like, hey, why is he here? And then ultimately, I think it was Tommy Dreamer that said, you can't show up to TV, because eventually he took over. Tommy Dreamer said, you can't show up to TV, you have to be invited. And this was probably 2006 or so. I was just devastated. I'm like, oh man, but I didn't give up. So I ultimately did my tryout with WWE in Florida Championship Wrestling. And I believe Dr. Tom was rehired because he was at Florida Championship Wrestling. And It was a 4-day tryout. I was like a maniac. And I remember before the tryout, John Laurinaitis was like, "Oh, Fred, you got to show me something different. You got to stand out." And this was before I was out. I wasn't comfortable with myself at all. I was very shy, timid, still shy and timid. But that's what John Laurinaitis said. You got to show me something different. You got to stand out. So the tryout that I did, May 1st, 2009, I ultimately showed them I had a little bit of character. I could wrestle, of course, but I showed them I could, wow the crowd, be flashy and fabulous. And May 4th, 2009, the same day I got signed was the same day AJ Lee from Union City, New Jersey got signed. I'm from Union Township, New Jersey. So the same day we both got signed, and the rest was history. I moved down. I remember Ken Kennedy was at the Florida Championship Wrestling, and he asked me when are you going to move down? I said, I don't know, a couple of months. And he said, you should come down as soon as possible. And Big Daddy V was my last independent wrestling match. And we didn't plan much, but after it was all said and done, we had an awesome match. And he said, boy, you're going to be up on the road within 8 months. And he was right. Once I got signed, I was up on the road within a year doing the first season of NXT, and the rest was history for me. Again, laser-like focus, first one there, last one to leave, but Dr. Tom was a big supporter of me.
Yeah, I love Dr. Tom so much. I was like, it's so funny because that learn to eat shit, like learn to love the taste of shit, was something that he verbatim said to me. And it was like the same kind of journey. Like I'd call Dr. Tom every other week. I'd send him a new tape. I'd send him more stuff. What do I got to do, Tom? Like, what can I do, Doc? Like that phrase came at me more than once for sure. And like the driving and all that. I love Dr. Tom so much. And yes. I think that sometimes he goes underappreciated for the amount of talent that he's found and amount of like knowledge that he has, because even in his camps and his schools and stuff like that, like he is just so smart when it comes to this business. And like,
I mean, you can tell how much he's loved when he would come visit backstage with WWE. And all the talent come running up to him, giving him a hug, And I see other people maybe side-eyeing, like what's going on. But that was just like everyone loved Dr. Tom. So anytime, I still use a lot of his sayings today when I coach, because I still love coaching. I still love giving back. Of course, whooping ass too.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And I have to say, I am just so, because I haven't met you, had the pleasure of meeting you yet in person. I'm so thrilled to hear your story and how determined you were and how, you wouldn't take no for an answer. Because I was made fun of a lot, like going and trying to like show up to shows. And, when Impact Wrestling came to Orlando, I would show up there with my tapes and I was there and trying to ingratiate myself with everybody. And everyone said, oh, well, you don't want to look desperate. And I was like, I ain't desperate. I'm eager. I want to be here. I want to be a part of the thing. And I don't care how it looks. I want to be very, obviously wanting to join the show and contribute any way I can. But I have to ask both of you, just popped into my head when you were telling your fabulous story there. It's interesting to me because I've never been a part of WWE contracted. I've done extra work. I've been there many times. But for both of you, I want you both to answer in your candor. When you got to WWE, was it what you thought of? Like, what were you surprised? Was it exactly how you thought it would be? Were you disappointed? What was it like for you?
Well, I mean, ladies first. The OG, Mickie.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, you're
gentleman.
Always a gentleman. I will say that no, it wasn't at all what I expected it to be. Like, I thought it was a lot. I thought that when you reach that level of success, and I'm comparing it to NFL, NBA, all this stuff, I'm thinking private jets, private buses, and the nicest hotels, the Ritz-Carltons, and we're really going to be living the high life. Like, that's what stardom meant to me. Like, when you reach to that level, I had no idea that I would be booking my own rental cars and my own hotels and my own, getting my own gear made and all these things. And like, I thought that a lot of that came with the glory of making it to that level. Obviously we knew kind of some of that as you're going and doing, because we went grassroots way. Like, so you kind of learned some of that along the way, but then you realize like, oh, that's okay, because the money is going to be like, bam, bam, bam. But for it wasn't also, but never disappointed, because there was so many magical moments and so many like cool things that we were able to do and go see. I would have never had a chance to go to Japan. I mean, I don't say that never, because obviously that was meant to be in my life or whatever, but I think about being able to travel the world and all these cities and all these countries all over the world and meeting those people in a real space and having conversations with people from all walks of life, from so many different cultures and religions and races. And it's just like to be able to love and embrace all of that and be like, wow, our world is so much bigger than Montpelier, Virginia for me. Like that was just like such a great, like, I just wouldn't trade it for the world, but it wasn't anything like I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, like I got signed, and for me, personal goal, I was at the top of my career professionally. If I didn't get signed May 4th, 2009, I would have been a firefighter. And same thing, John Moxley, if he hadn't become a wrestler, he would have been a firefighter. So we would have been two dope, handsome firefighters if we hadn't made it.
All the calendars. She's right. I was thinking the same thing. I'm such a great
calendars.
Yes. But I wasn't comfortable with myself. You know, I would always do wrestling promos like this to deepen my voice, to sound more masculine, to sound more tough. And I just wasn't comfortable. I had a girlfriend when I first got signed to developmental. Everything was like a cover up for me until I ultimately came out to the world, being closeted, you have these hidden blocks, and I had them in 2009 and 2010 doing the Nexus. I had those hidden blocks. Anytime I got on the mic, I was terrified. But once I unlocked those hidden blocks that were stopping me, you get access to so much cool stuff, especially nowadays, because I can be as tough as I want, or I can be as feminine as I want, baby. I can just be me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can be tough. Yes, queen. I can just be myself. You know what I mean? Years ago, I would never do that. Never act like that. Never. But now I can be myself. Again, I always say if I would have done this for the money, I would have complained a long time ago. I truly do this for the love and the passion and living like a rock star from city to city. I was with Titus O'Neil for many years, and he got a bad rap when he first got into the Florida Championship Wrestling because he was a football player, and I was always the first one working out with him and the last one. Same, nothing had changed. And I told him, big man, the same people that are shitting on you are going to be kissing your ass years from now. And he's doing amazing things as an ambassador. But he was the guy that would book the hotels and the rental cars because Titus Worldwide, he had the hookup. Sometimes we get hotels. We get hotels for free or maybe $50 a night. He was the businessman. I was the guy that did all the driving because I love to drive. I love to be in control. 300 miles, 350 is nothing to me. Anything over 300, Mickie, I don't know if you know, they're supposed to charter you, Yeah. And, if something's 315, Titus is asking for a plane. I'm like, listen, big man, let me drive, man. Like, it just in and out of the airport after a while can be stressful. I don't mind it. But yeah, he was the businessman. I did all the driving. But again, being closeted, I just wasn't myself. But I was very fearful back then. The wrestling business would be, I was prepared. I just wasn't emotionally prepared for it.
Yeah. What was it? Where was that turning point for you where you go? Because I think I commend you so much. You are the first person to ever come out publicly while under the roster, even male or female. And I think there had been a lot of people who had come out perhaps in the locker room or in with their closest riding partners or whatever, kind of knew. And there would be talk or speculation about people, but it's such a brave act to be able to stand in that place that is authentic to you, to be able to, I think that was so powerful, and it gave you your power back, because you say like, oh, I wasn't comfortable. And that makes me so sad to think like, God, we've all been in those spaces where we're not comfortable with ourselves. And it's in that space where you go like, damn it, I love myself for who I am, right? So like, what brought you to that place to go like, I want to come out on a public level? Because I think it's impacted and it's made a massive change. And I applaud you for that. It's for in our culture and acceptance. And I think that a fan recently asked us, or someone asked us this on the podcast, is how do we feel like it was accepted in the locker room? And we could only really answer it from the females' locker room space, which I know is very different than the males' locker room space. So I have so many questions, but I want you to know that we love you so much for that. And I think without you being strong enough to stand up and do that, there wouldn't be Sonya Deville's that were like just completely embraced and beloved for it, and as they should be, you know what I mean? Because it's just really cool to see so many people be able to stand in their truth, and and be accepted and not feel like people are going to judge them over it, because it's, you know, it's who you are.
And you're a pioneer for that reason. And that's why we were so thrilled that you agreed to do it, especially in Pride Month. That meant so much to us that you would agree to share your story with us.
Look at us. We're making moves. I'm making moves with New Japan, Mickie. You're just making moves with NWA. I mean, it's just like, look at us, you know, look at us. We got to be proud of the stuff that we're doing, you know, and like, we got to be a voice of the voiceless for women empowerment, empower. We got to be the voice of the voices when it comes to the LGBTQ community, or anyone that gets bullied. So let's just keep rocking and rolling, and don't stop.
And block that hate, baby.
Block that hate.
All day, every day.
No days off. Block that hate. You're a doll. Thank you for being here. Truly a grown-ass man. We love you so much.
Damn, baby.
Thank you.
What a darling. What a darling. Oh my God. He hubba. Can I just say that? Oh, and thank you so much. Yeah, hubba. We need those eyeballs. Can you superimpose those eyeballs that come out our eyes? You know? Snapchat. But Darren, oh my God, I love you so much. Oh my gosh.
At the top of the hour at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will all be a part of the Zoom after party. It's live. Everyone from Patreon is invited, and it's so much fun. If you think this was fun, get over to the chat in just a little bit, and we'll see you there.
Oh, so exciting. I can't wait. But to everyone here live in the chat, hello. We see you. We are grateful for you. But don't forget to like this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn that notification bell on. Comment below outside the live chat, because I know it's fun chatting in here, but the little comments on the other side, they're cool too. We love those. Yeah. And we'll see you in the Patreon after party.
Woo woo!
Woo! Get your shots ready, baby. That's right.
This is the word of GAW, y'all.